Hi there, in this tutorial, I'll start by explaining the key steps on how to accomplish this effect, and around halfway through the tutorial, I'll also talk about a few more things about my channel and the work. Alright, as for the key steps, I'll start by adding text, I'll then add these overlapping colors, then I'll add these distorting lines to create the glitch effect, then I'll add the background, I'll then make final few edits and get the final look. Chapters have been added for better understanding. Alright, let's now begin. Alright, so I'm going to start off by adding the text and I'm going to write the word glitch, and now let's just make it bigger, kind of bringing it in the center. The next thing that obviously I'm going to do, I'm going to choose the font, and the font that I want it to be a bit more condensed. As you can see in the properties, I have chosen condensed, and the font that I'm going to choose is this Geometric 706, black and bold. Next, let's make a few more copies of this text. I'm going to make 2 copies. I'm going to go here in the layers. As you can see, it's 1 copy. I'm going to right click and copy, and then I'm going to paste it in the back, and I'll do this 1 more time. So now I have 2 copies in the layers, as you can see. So I hit the first one, selected the second one, and in the swatches, I'm going to give it a bright red color. I'm going to go back in the layers. I'm going to choose the word on the bottom. I've hit the first one, I've hit the second one, and to this I'm going to give a bright yellow color. What I'm going to do is I'm going to unhide all the layers. As you can see, the black is on the top and the other 2 below. Next, I'm going to choose the top color, this one here. I'm going to give it this bright blue Ferozy tone. Now I'll go back into the layers and I'm going to select the red colored glitch text. And I'm using the arrows, the left arrow on my keyboard, and I'm going to move it by around 10 times to the left. And then I'm going to select the one lower below, which I need to turn back to yellow since I've turned that one blue as well. So I'll turn it back yellow, and I'll move it to the right by around roughly 10 times by hitting the arrow key on the keyboard. Next, I'm going to select all these 3 text. I'm gonna go up here. I can create outline from here on the right click, or I can go up here in the objects and then come down here and expand and press OK. Now all of this text has turned into an object. Okay, now let's create the distortion effect. For that, I've chosen the rectangle tool. I'm gonna draw a thin rectangle like a line here. I'm gonna give a different color. I'll choose finally a purple one, basically just to have a contrast. And then I'm going to draw multiple lines of varying sizes on the screen, on the text, which would then be used to create the distortion effect on the text. I'll speed up the process a little bit for you. Alright, so here comes the important part. I'm gonna select everything, and on the right hand side I'm gonna use Pathfinder. If you can see it, go up here in the windows and come down here to select Pathfinder. In the Pathfinder, I'm gonna press divide. Now what it has done is it has divided every single overlapping part into small broken down objects. So I've ungrouped them, and as you can see, I'm deleting the unwanted part that don't overlap the text. Since each of these objects have been separated because I used the divide operation in the Pathfinder, I can delete those parts that I don't need, and I will only keep the lines or the parts that are overlapping above the text. So I'll again speed up the process and quickly delete all the lines. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the straight purple lines where they cut through the text, and I'm going to group them together. So I'm first selecting them, and then I'm going to group them together. And once I group them by pressing Ctrl G, I've selected them and I've grouped them pressing Ctrl G. Now I'll move it to the right by hitting the right arrow on my keyboard. I'll do the same for the one below, but I'll push it to the left, and I'll keep on alternating this for all the lines by pushing them to the right and the left so that it creates that distortion effect that we are looking for. So we are kind of in the middle of the video, and there are a few things that I want to ask. I would love to see your comments in the comment section below, and there are a few things that I wanted to ask. The first one is, do you like the pace of the videos at which I have made them? Do you want them to have more explanation, or do you want them to be slower, or do you want them to be faster? The second thing that I want to ask is that what other areas or subjects is that you feel like you want to watch my tutorials, or you want to see my experiences? I'm learning as well, just like like you. The third thing that I want to ask is that do you want the videos without the music background or with the music background, as is currently in this video, or so far in most of the videos I have added background music. And finally, I would love if you would subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up, because I have noticed in my analytics that more than 90% of the people haven't subscribed to the channel. It would help me a ton if you could just subscribe and press the notification button so that it keeps me energized to keep on working with what I'm doing. Now let's continue with what we were doing. Once this has been achieved, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to select all these purple lines that have created the distortion. I'm going to combine all of them into one group so that I can give them color, make a few changes, whatever that I want to do to continue working with these distortion lines. Now, once that is done, what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to try and change the color of these distortion lines. The reason that I'm doing is that the purple color, although very bright, isn't going really well with this whole theme of colors. So I'm gonna try different colors, but eventually I was kind of undecided on which color I want to choose. So what I did was that I chose this orangish color, and then I decided that I need to add a background and then see what color would suit it properly that I want to give to these two lines. Okay, so let's add a background. As always, I'll choose the rectangle tool by going here on the left, or you can press M on your keyboard and it will pop up this dialog box. You can fill the values. It's 920 by 1080p, and I'll keep it with a very dark color. In fact, I'm going to choose black, and then I'm going to see what I want to choose the color for the distortion lines. So now what I'm going to do is I'm again going to select the distorted lines and then open the color picker once again by clicking on the fill color on the left hand side. And I'm going to try different colors. And the moment I began trying these colors, I thought that I want to choose something that is going to be closer to this Ferozy color. And I finally came around this blue color, and I kind of felt that it went well with the overall theme. And I feel the reason for that is that it's a harmonious color. The blue and the Ferozy are harmonious to one another as they fall under the major blue shade. So harmonious colors go well, and that is why I think this blue color is going to do well to suit the whole theme. Next, I'm going to make it full screen, and I'm going to notice if there are any discrepancies or something that might need attention. And immediately, as you can see on the left hand side on the letter G, there are certain lines that I forgot to remove, the certain parts of the line that I forgot to remove. And for that, I will need to ungroup these lines and select those parts and delete them, and then regroup everything to give it the final look. Everything else is fine. I'm just gonna speed up the video so that you don't have to watch over the whole process slowly. Okay, so with that, our text effect is complete. I'm gonna make it full screen. I hope you enjoyed the video and there was something for all of you to learn in it. And now I would suggest to you to keep on watching the next video in the whole playlist, or you can go out and check out my channel and take a look at all the various videos that I've uploaded so far. I hope it helps, and I'll continue with this journey of being creative, of having the ability to explore everything that I want to in terms of getting more and more creative in this process. I hope to meet a lot more people and have a wonderful, wonderful journey going ahead in this creative field. Thank you for your time.